Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of our program Languages of the World, the English language. And I'd like to start by telling everybody Merry Christmas. This is actually the last episode in the year 2018, and we're of course happy to have been with you throughout this year. We wish you all the best. We also wish that or hope that you have achieved a good level in English. Let me first welcome my guest, Ms. Heba. Hello, Ms. Heba, and welcome to the program.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas for you too. And
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. And actually, you decided to end this year by discussing something really important, figurative
It's important, it's
language,
nice,
yeah.
it's light, and we use it without knowing in all our talking and expressions.
We use it naturally.
Naturally,
Yeah.
it comes naturally because we like to make jokes, we like to compare,
We
don't,
like to
yes,
imply. You know,
imply.
we do not just like to say things straightforward.
Exactly.
We like describe something or relate something to something else.
Exactly.
All right. Or make the picture clearer by giving similar examples.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a nice language. The figurative language is nice both in talking and both in writing also, because a lot of writers depend on the figurative language while writing.
So what is meant by figurative language?
Figurative language means the flourished language, or the language you use indirectly to express something, like comparing things together, like adding imagery, like making personification, like, you know, adding some beauty to the language.
Yeah.
We will know them in details now, but in Arabic you call it التعبير المجازي.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a figurative language in English.
It's acceptable. It's like sometimes you avoid saying something directly.
So you have to
but-
use it, yes, implied, so that you will not be punished or something like this.
Or maybe embarrassed as well.
Or embarrassed, yes. Yes, exactly.
All right, so let's get
Okay,
started.
yes, let us start this nice thing. So, literally, this is a difference that you asked for. The literal words function exactly as defined. When I say the car is blue, so the car is blue. So the literal words are examining or expressing the same same thing as the word say. For example, he called the football, so he called the football. But if I say figuratively, these are kind of figure out what it means. I will say it and you figure out what it means. This is why we call it figurative. Figure it out. Like when I say, if I've got your back, I have got your back. I didn't get your back, but I've got your back means I support you. So you figure out what the meaning of this. You are a doll. So if you say something like this to a lady, this means that she's pretty. Or if you are saying it in a sarcastic way, it will mean something else. So it is kind of not direct to say. The first thing in the figurative language we are gonna deal with is the simile. And the simile means like comparison between two things. But you use some words like as or like. So we call it in Arabic tashbih. For example, if I say the metal twisted like a ribbon, this means that the metal is like the ribbon in their flexibility. So I'm comparing the metal with a ribbon, and I use the word like. Or I say she as sweet as candy. So here I'm comparing between someone and the candy in sweetness. So here it's kind of nice words to say. It's very important that using like or as doesn't make a simile. Not if I find only like or only as, this doesn't mean that you have a simile. For if I say, as I was walking, I met him. This doesn't mean that this is a simile. I used as, yes, but this is so different. I have to compare between two things. If I say I like pizza, is it a simile?
No.
Of course it is not. I'm not comparing anything. So the words only don't make a figurative language. How do you use them? This is very important. But if I say the moon is like a pizza, here we have a simile. We compare the moon to the pizza. After the simile, we have something the same like the simile, but actually we don't use any words to express our comparison. For if I say all the word is a stage, or the word is a stage. So here I'm comparing the word to a theater stage. So this we call metaphor. Metaphor. Or we can say...
Because we say it is this.
Yes. Her heart is stone. When I say her heart is stone, I'm comparing her heart to a stone. This means that her heart is so hard. It is not soft. So
Yeah,
here
well,
it is a metaphor.
We can say it, her heart is as hard as a stone.
Yeah, here it would be a simile. Hard as a stone, this would be a simile. But without using as, we can say her heart is a stone. So here I'm saying that she is tough, or she has no feelings. Then the third thing would be personification, and we have an equivalent for it in Arabic, which is tashkhis, exactly, and it's the same, like giving human traits to objects or ideas. Like if you have, for example, the stars are dancing. Mainly who dances? People or humans. So here I'm personifying the stars as people dancing. The sunlight danced, or water on the lake shivers. The shivering trait or quality is for humans, shivering from cold. So the water is shivering, so here I am personifying as if water is someone shivering. So here we call personification. Or the streets are calling me. You know, how nice to use this. The streets are calling me. I can tell you, goodbye now, Yasser. The streets or the duty is calling me. So we hear it a lot. The duty is calling. So of course the duty is not calling, but it's personification.
So it's like we give life to things, you know.
Yes.
That
with some traits of people only.
Yeah.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole is kind of exaggeration. And this exaggeration we use to show strong feelings or effects.
Sometimes you use it for flattery.
Or flattery, yeah, flattery, or strong feelings, or exaggeration. Like for example, I've called you a million times. Where were you? I've called you a million times. So we people, we in Egypt, we like hyperbole a lot. We like to exaggerate. So hungry I can eat a horse, or I can eat everything, or I will love you forever. How many times have you heard this from people telling other people, I will love her forever, I will never forget you? So all of these are kind of exaggeration. She would kill me if she knows. Of course she will not kill him, but it is kind of exaggeration. So hyperbole is exaggeration. The against or the opposite of hyperbole is the understatement. You kind of belittling things. For example, if a mother is telling her son that you have to study, your exams are so soon, he would say, forget about it, it's a piece of cake. So here he is doing what? He is understating or belittling the importance of something very serious, giving it less than it deserves. Expression which with less strength than expected. I'll be there in 1 second. How many times have you heard someone, I'll be there in
a second, or wait a second.
Or wait yes, exactly. And of course second means like this. So this is kind of understatement. Or you are giving a shot to a baby, this won't hurt a bit. Of course this is kind of understating. I love this part of the figurative language, which is onomatopoeia. The onomatopoeia is a kind of funny word. It means that the word makes a sound, or you can know the meaning of a word from the sound, its sound. Like when I say click, the clock is clicking. So click here means the sound of the clock. Or popcorn. The word popcorn is corn, which makes pop sound. So the word pop is kind of also indicating its sound. Splash. The word splash is the sound of the water when something is thrown in it. Or the bomb itself, the sound of it. So this is onomatopoeia. We have dealt with the idioms before in other episodes, and we said that it's a saying that is meant to be taken literally. Like when I say, you are the apple of my eye. So here, you are so precious, you are the apple of my eye.
You are very dear to me.
Exactly, so this is a kind of idiom. And here, what you have mentioned at the beginning of the episode about when you say something and you intend it to mean another thing.
Yeah.
This is called a pun. And actually it's a kind of word play. It's used a lot in politics.
Yeah.
In politics they use it a lot. Words have double meaning actually. For example, I wondered why the baseball was getting bigger and then it hit me. Or I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put it down. So he's reading a book about anti-gravity, so he can't put it down because there is no gravity. So this is a pun. Or I was going to look for my missing watch, but I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
So he's going to look for his lost watch, but he doesn't have a time. So all of these are playing with words, and it is called a pun. And the proverb.
Sometimes you can use it to say something.
It means another thing.
And run away with it, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. And the piece of wisdom of proverbs, like we have dealt with before, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, or the early bird catches the worm. These are kind of proverbs.
Here we're talking, for example, this one, the early bird catches the worm. We're not talking about birds here.
Or words.
We're talking about people.
People earning their living.
Yeah.
When they wake up early, they will.
So it's like an advice for people to get up early.
And work, yes, and be punctual, of course. And the last one, it is called oxymoron, and it is used more in literature when you use opposites together. And we use it in a funny way in Egypt, like when you say النهارده الجو حر تلج يعني.
Yeah.
برد نار يعني, something like this. So, like pretty ugly.
It's pitch dark.
Yeah, exactly. Or freezer burn. So you put two opposites beside each other, or dark light, something like this. So this is called oxymoron in the figurative language.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let us stop for a while and watch this clip on Christmas around the world.
Exactly.
Welcome back, everybody. We are still with you. This is, as I said before, the last episode of the year 2018. Merry Christmas to you all. So let us talk about Christmas.
Exactly. And I've got you something about Christmas in the word and how people celebrate New Year in different countries.
Yeah.
So, actually here in Egypt we celebrate it as other people in Europe and America. We have this Christmas tree, we prepare a nice dinner, and it is our Christmas celebration. And the New Year is a holiday celebrated in the last day of the previous year and in the first day of the following one. Of course, this is applicable for most countries because other countries, they don't celebrate the New Year the same, but in general, they celebrate it at the last day of the year. It is one of the main holidays. Of course, most of people take it as a holiday. And there are different traditions or festive events. And of course, tasty food. Usually you can see a Christmas tree at home. And you can find toys decorated by balls and toys and lights. In Finland, for example, how do they celebrate the Christmas? If you visit Finland during Christmas, you can see a lot of Christmas lights. All the windows, doors and trees shine with colorful lights. You know, like you see the snow and the lights, so contradicting and so beautiful. In Russia, there are some New Year traditions. Christmas tree, a festive table, and all the family around it. First, Russian people say goodbye to the old year and talk with relatives and friends about it. What was good during that year. They will not mention what was bad, actually. They only mention what was good. And this is good. In Great Britain, people decorate their houses not only with Christmas tree, but with a plant called mistletoe. It is
Mistletoe,
yes, it hangs up on the lamps, And there's a custom that you can kiss a person who is standing under the mistletoe. So it is kind of their traditions. For Ireland, there is a tradition to open the door of your house on the New Year Eve to everyone coming. So it is very nice. If you want to be the guest, you are welcome. Any house. Even if you don't know the people inside. So you can just enter.
Yeah.
At 11:30 p.m., all the Irish come out to meet on the central square. So at 11:30, before the midnight, all of them come to a square. Usually the square is decorated with lights, but the next day everyone should spend at home. In Italy, there is a custom in Italy to throw away old furniture out from the windows. Well, this is nice. You throw away
Old ones?
all the old furniture from the windows, but be careful when you walk under them.
So it's not advisable at all
to
walk on the streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the Christmas Eve, people work only before lunch. Then they go home to decorate the Christmas trees and prepare the gifts. All the gifts are presented by the eldest woman in the family. So the grandmoms are the people who present the gifts. She is called the benfine. In Japan, at night on the New Year in Japan, you can hear the bell sound. It rings 108 times. It has to ring 108 times. And every stroke means different vices. What is the vices? Means the mistakes of people.
Yeah.
So, for example, there's greed, stupidity, anger, thoughtlessness, and envy. So they ring it bad things. So it rings for 108 times, each one time for a sin or a vice, so that they remind people not to do them in the New Year. And in France, we have Santa Claus. We call it Père Noël. Comes into the houses and leaves the present in the kids' shoes. Not under the tree, as we know, but in the kids' shoe. They leave the gift. Adults cook a festive cake and a bean with a bean inside. So they cook a cake or bake a cake, and there is a bean, one bean inside. The person who takes it out becomes a bean king and can make orders to everyone at that night. Under the Christmas tree, you can find wooden or clay figures. So this is very nice if you found the bean.
So as we see, different traditions, different ways to celebrate the New Year.
Exactly. All of the people are happy and giving and sharing. And it is all about how to start the New Year with loving each other.
But there is something common here, which is everybody celebrates the coming of a new year.
Yes, we celebrate.
Or the advent of a new year.
Yes, we all celebrate it, and we all have resolution for the new year, things we want to do, things we want to stop to do, and hope that we can, all of us, do our resolution.
Are there any interesting things?
Well, mostly they all celebrate
what
the
about
same
here?
thing.
How do you yourself celebrate the new year?
Actually, I like to follow the same idea. We make a nice dinner for family, and we have a little Christmas tree, and we get gifts for each other, and we share these gifts.
Yeah,
it's nice.
So everybody celebrates the new year in a different way, but they all celebrate it. All right, we share this.
The spirit.
Why do you think people are happy?
Actually,
on that day,
because you feel like you are starting a new page in your life.
Yeah.
So you are kind of, I forget everything bad and I start optimistic about what is going to come. It's about family gathering. It's an occasion to meet your family. You don't have this occasion frequently, so it is nice. It is nice. It's hope.
Yeah.
It is a hope because you have this hope inside you that next year will be better. I'll be better. I'll do something better.
Besides, it's a good reason for people to get together and celebrate and have a nice time.
We in Egypt, we love all the occasions that make us get together. It's one of the occasions.
Yeah. So have you made any resolutions for the new year?
The same resolutions of every year, actually, to be fit, to be more, easygoing. But I tried my best every year.
Do you think you've achieved something this year that you wished for?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. I think
you're happy, you're satisfied with 2018?
Yes, alhamdulillah. Yes.
But you're expecting better
Actually, what I
stuff.
want is not for me. I just want for our country, really, and it is not just words. I really want it
For
better.
our country, for the
Yes.
whole world, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the whole world is like cohesive. So one thing that goes on in one place affects the rest of the world.
I'd like that people would love each other more.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and this is should be our attitude always, to not just hope things for ourselves,
Yes, for
or for our
others.
country,
Sure.
or for the Arab world, for the whole world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because if
We're
people love each
anyway,
other,
humanity, you know.
yes, if all the people love each other, I think everything will be great.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that can happen.
Yeah. All right. So, have you ever celebrated a New Year elsewhere, like in another country?
No,
So,
unfortunately.
if I ask you, which country would you like to spend Christmas Eve on? So
German.
In
Okay, it's
Germany?
Germany, yes.
You'd like to spend Christmas Eve in Germany?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the snow, so it is the place that I can go. So, yes, to enjoy the snow and the lights.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So I wish that by the end of 2019,
Yes, I celebrate it
you'll
there.
be in Germany
Yes,
and
celebrating
celebrate
it there. Yes.
celebrate the New Year. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
with
Happy
us.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year to everybody. And until we meet you again next year, have a wonderful time. Bye.